the end of the day, no one else is saying this shit. Like, it's so annoying. Like, because look at it this way, because the truth is most barbers will never break out of average, not because they lack skill, but because they never have that mindset or have systems and the courage to see themselves differently. Like, that's a very common thing, especially in the barber space. Like, very, very common thing. So today we're going to change that. If you're serious about leveling up, grab a notebook, grab a coffee, and let's lock in, because it's going to be a juicy ass one. Very excited to be here with you guys, chopping it up, and let's get into it, because we have a lot to cover, and I really base my content now around value opposed to like the views in a sense, but that also contradicts what I'm going to teach here, especially if you're just starting out. So here's one of the things that most barbers will never admit. Being busy doesn't mean you're successful. And I know that hurts, because that's literally every barber's dream. Like, I want to be booked out. I want to be booked out. I want to, charge high prices, but you're not going to do it because you're afraid to lose clients. And I'll get into that on why it's okay to lose clients. You don't believe in your worth more. Like, you don't believe that you can charge more because someone is telling you XYZ. You're confused about being booked when there's more to it than being booked to be successful. Okay. A packed schedule at $30 a haircut is just modern day slavery. That's just the hamster wheel that never stops. You're exhausted, underpaid, and just stuck. Like, I've been there and it fucking sucks. So it leads me to my next thing. Like, this is why most barbers stay capped out at $2,500 to 5K a month. And let's get real. Most barbers stay stuck between this because they think being busy equals success. They never track their numbers. They get scared to see how fragile their business actually is. And and the last point is literally every single barber. Like, you guys don't want to face the truth for some weird reason. Like, the truth to you guys is like this, like, modern day like bullet to the head. Like, it's so weird. I feel like, for me at least, when I started like auditing myself, it hurt, but I also seen it as, okay, I have this and this wrong with me. I need to fix this and this and this. Okay. But you feel like you're working harder than everybody else, and you think, I must be doing something wrong because I can't get past this income ceiling. And to some, that 25 to 5K a month is enough. That's fine. And to me, that's not freedom money. That's You're stuck in survival mode. Like, if you're stuck in that range, you're not failing. You're definitely not winning either. So you're working too many hours. You have no time to market yourself. You have no energy to build systems. You're always one bad month away from falling behind. You see, $2,500 to $5,000 is survival money, not freedom money. Reason why I know this, because I've been there. Like, at the end of the day, that's fine if you want to make that, but as long as you keep all of it. Like, there's no point in getting a fucking scat pack if the fucking payment is $1,800. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, barbers? Like, why do you guys want to look like you're successful than actually being successful? Like, I still drive my Kia Forte as if it were the fucking Ferrari that I've always wanted. Why? Because it's paid off. All I got to do is just keep up the maintenance, and I let my success literally speak for itself. But at the end of the day, like, who is this for? Who is this podcast for? And why did you even click on this to begin with? Okay. Like, why are you still here watching this? Like, and at the end of the day, some barbers love volume based work, and that's okay. They love cutting 20 heads a day. They love that grind. Like, they love seeing the whole schedule booked out. But then they see the barber that's charging high ticket, making more and working less. For some weird reason, there's a stigma between the two. But that's, I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But they love the grind, and that's fine. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the barbers that know that they can tap into a new finance level. Like, that they know they're built for more. Because you're listening to this podcast and you probably do want more. You probably want more freedom, more time with your family. You want more money to keep up with bills, to invest in yourself, and you want more respect, you know, and you want reputation that speaks for itself. And if you're tired of working 60 hours a week and still feel broke, this is for you. Like, I've been there. I know what that fucking feels like. But I feel like you have to go through those things to understand that there's a next level to get to. Because in the beginning of my career, I remember like being booked out and being so fucking tired and thinking like, yeah, this is the way, you know. But then you kind of get to a point where it's like, I think I should probably do something else. You know what I mean? So, um, but here are the hidden costs of staying cheap. You know, when you undercharge, you burn out way faster. You can't reinvest in your tools, your education, or your space. You attract clients who do not respect you. You know, because here's an example. When I was charging $25, I thought I was winning because I was booked, but I always I was always behind on bills, stressed out, always chasing people to pay. I always begged for the next person in my chair. And I had nothing to show for it and except tired hands and a calendar full of cheap appointments. And again, like I feel like I had to go through that to understand like I don't want that, you know? Like cheap clients cost you more energy than you make more money. Like you think you're gonna make more by cutting more. In reality, you're not because you can't outwork a shitty clients or shitty clients in your schedule. It's just impossible, you know. And which leads me to my next point. Like barbers think that the competition is the shop down the street charging $5 less than you, or the barber next to you charging $10 less than you. That's not it. Your real competition is you not taking action. You're not documenting your work. You're not putting yourself out there. And you're not giving people a reason to choose you. Okay. The problem isn't saturation. The problem is obscurity. There are barbers with less skill charging more because they know how to market themselves. And that's kind of embarrassing because I know some of the greatest barbers that I've ever came across and they're cheap as fuck. It's like, bro, what are you doing? But they'll never tell you this. They're fucking scared. They are fucking scared and they do not want to lose their jam-packed days and they just don't want to do it. But somebody out there has to like you, you know? But they can't book you if they don't know you exist. And here comes my next thing that I want to talk about, and I'm gonna debunk a myth. Here's a myth that I hear all the time, like, and I'm gonna kill this idea once and for all. Like, you cannot outwork a broken business model. You cannot out hustle and underprice and under. Yeah, sorry, you cannot out hustle underpricing yourself. Like you being that cheap literally means no to it literally means you're saying no to new clients. Like, no, I don't want new clients. And that is the tall tale sign that your business is growing when you have constant new clientele coming into your chair. Like I see this all the fucking time. Like most barbers do not have common sense. They do not have common sense. All they want to do is just cut up their friends and live off of that. And that's okay. If you want to be that fucking clown barber that just cuts up their friends drinking and shit, that's fine. Do you? But if working harder was enough, you'd already be rich. You know, you have to work smarter. You have to create demand. You have to set boundaries. And I feel like a lot of barbers don't set those boundaries, especially when it comes to cutting their friends. Like they do not want to set boundaries because my friends are gonna get mad at me if I go up on my price or it's I get so flustered when he comes in smoking when he comes in smelling like weed. Like I don't like that. But if I tell him something, he's gonna get mad. Like first of all, it's okay for you to fire clients. Not every single client you get is good money. Like it's okay to fire clients. I've done it. I recently had to do it, and it sucks, but it has to be done. You know. And here's the reality of raising prices. This is where most of you freeze. Like this is where most barbers like tuck in their tail and they run for the hills. Like they don't want to talk about pricing. They want to stay cheap. They want to offer discounts and okay, that's fine. But let me save you some anxiety. People will leave you no matter what. Some will leave you because you raise prices. Some will leave you because they moved. Some will leave because they never were loyal to begin with. Like that's just the barber game in a nutshell. Like people are clients are in your business for a season. Like some clients may come back and some may just not come back at all. And that's okay. That's why I always say you have to constantly get new clients into the chair, you know? And the truth is a lot of clients already so which leads me to my next thing. So why not get paid what you're worth by the ones who stay? And here's the truth, the cold-blooded truth. A lot of your clients already tip you 50% above your price. Like if your clients are already tipping you that, then that's a tall tale sign that they're telling you it's time to level up. You know, like it's okay to lose the cheap clients that don't value your services. Like it's okay. It really is. Like it's not like this. Like oh my gosh, like my life is over if Juan doesn't come back to me. Like no, it's okay. But you have to put your foot down. You have to have balls to fucking do this type of shit. Like you really have to have fucking balls to fucking say, you know what? I have clients that are paying me 60 and I'm at 30, I'm going up to 60 because I have more than of my 60% of my clientele pays me 60. So I'm going to go up to 60. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to make the same, if not a little bit more, and you're going to be working less. But let me give you guys more clarity on how I go about raising prices. Like I have a whole tracking system. I call it the 2 week incubation period. Like, and let me break this down because this changed my business forever. And if it could for me, why not for you? So for 2 weeks, I tracked every single client, what they paid, what they tipped, and what they said about pricing. I created a simple spreadsheet on Google. You can do it yourself too, with 3 categories. Green meant tipped over my target or paid my new rate with no problem. Yellow tipped a little extra or acted like they were on the fence about the new price. Red, well, you can just guess it. They never tipped or always complained about pricing. Most clients won't tell you that they're leaving, they'll just disappear. When I finally raised my prices, 90% of what I predicted came true. The greens stayed loyal, the yellows wobbled but adapted, the reds just vanished. And if you feel like you have a lot of red clients, then there's something wrong in your business. But that's a very rare thing for a barber. It's like, what are you doing to attract that kind of like clientele? But this is what you have to track because your feelings will lie to you, but data never does. Numbers are solid. Your emotions are not. Keep that in mind. So here are some action steps that I want you to do. Start your own 2 week tracking system today. Categorize every single client. Honestly, no emotions, just facts. When you raise your prices, you already know who's likely to stay. Data makes decisions easy. Emotions make them impossible. Let me repeat that. Data makes decisions easy. Emotions make them impossible. So here are some things I want to ask you guys. So before you move on, I want you to really sit down with these questions because this is where your growth starts. So question number 1, how many of your current clients actually value you? Or are they just the convenient option? What's the real reason why you haven't raised your prices yet? Is it fear? Is it comfort? Is it the story you keep telling yourself over and over again about your city? Look, I get it. That's just an excuse. But question number 3, if you keep charging what you're charging now, where will you be in 12 months? Question number 4, what would it look like if you stopped worrying about who might leave and started focusing on who will stay? You see, most barbers will skip these questions because they're uncomfortable. That's exactly why they stay stuck. And if you're stuck, that's totally normal. Like I get it. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. It's part of why you're not leveling up or you're in this season where you feel like you have to stay at $30. Like I know a lot of barbers that have been at $30 for like 10 years. And it's so crazy. Like it's so crazy to me. Like I think in 1 year I was able to raise my prices 3 times. I went from 25 to 40 No, it was 25 and then to 50 and 75 and now I'm at 100. And that happened on a span of like 12 months, you know? So you really have to adapt to having the mindset and start thinking like a high ticket barber. Like you can't just like, oh, well, tomorrow from a $30, I'm going to make a $70 jump. No, do not do that. That's going to break everything. Do not do that. Please, for crying aloud, do not do that. So let's be real. Most of you already have the skill. What you're missing is the mindset. Like you spent years learning about fades, tapers, beards, how to use clippers, trimmers, how to zero gap them. You know your craft inside and out, like the back of your hand. All right. But the truth is, no amount of skill will save you from the mindset that is stuck at $30 level. And it sucks because this is the piece that nobody wants to talk about because it requires looking in the mirror and pointing that finger right at yourself, owning all your mistakes and all your the way and owning your way of thinking. And this is why mindset is literally everything. You have to reframe how you see your service. You have to see yourself as an experience, not a transaction. Look, a $30 mindset says, I am just a barber. A $100 mindset says, I'm a professional who solves problems. The difference isn't skill, it's the standard. So, what do I mean when I say your standards are the ceiling? Let's break that down. Your standards are your ceilings. Okay. Here's something I learned the hard way. You don't have to rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards. So if your standards are like shit, then you're going to fall because your standards are shit. You have to literally at some point raise your prices at some point. Because if you don't, then you're gonna your business is gonna break. Like I've seen barbers quit because they're not fulfilled or because they're not getting new clientele or because it's so like repetitive at this point. You know what I mean? But like you can say all day, I want to make six figures, but but if your standards are sloppy, you'll always drop back down to what you said you wouldn't tolerate. Like the gap between you and what you want is you have to have your standards very high. Like stop playing small. That's why a lot of you are still you are that's why a lot of you barbers are stuck where you're at because you play small, you know? So you have to build non-negotiables into your business, content, having a clean station, having a non-negotiable rule when it comes to okay, if you smoke weed, I'm not gonna smoke an hour or 2 hours before my clientele. I'm gonna make sure I don't smell because you are what you attract. I'm just saying, you know. So here's some action steps that I want you to write down. So write down 3 standards you refuse to compromise starting today. Here are some examples. Every client gets a consultation, a literally professional one. You break down their face shape and you give a literal prescription on what they should get opposed to what they want. Like I say this all the time. When barbers will literally listen to the client and say, and when the client comes, oh, I want a buzz cut. When the client knows the buzz cut is going to make them look like shit. The client isn't always right in the barber industry. Just putting that out there. Like the client isn't always right. Okay, you have to be the professional into steering them into what they actually need. You know. So another action step I want you to do is my workspace is clean and organized. I respect my own pricing. Like you can't charge premium if you operate sloppy. And here's why most barbers never change those standards. One, because it's comfortable. Two, because average don't the like. So number two is because average doesn't require accountability. Because average doesn't get judged. But if you want to grow, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to be okay with standing out. You have to be okay with people misunderstanding you. Comfort is the tax you pay to stay average. And when you get that bill, it is painful. Like the bill of regret will always be higher than the bill of comfort. I see it I see it all the time. Oh, I should have done this. I should have listened to Paco. I should have listened to XYZ. Like they knew what was good of this if I would have just stuck to it, you know? Like you have to be okay with standing out, you know, like it's okay for people to misunderstand you. Like people are, especially in the barber space, they always want to be liked. Like they will sabotage their standards just to be liked. And trust me, your environment plays a huge role in this. And your environment will start resenting you. And honestly, that's something that a lot of barbers ignore from a day-to-day basis. Because this is what happened to me, you know? When you start taking yourself seriously, when you start making content, raising your prices, and just thinking bigger, like the barbers around you are going to start feeling to some type of way. Like who the fuck does this guy think he is? Just because he films content, people are paying him this price. It's like, well, maybe you can attach what he's doing and do it yourself. Like if it worked for me, why wouldn't it work for you? But most barbers don't want to do that, you know? And I'm telling you this because it happened to me. The minute I started elevating my brand, myself, and working on myself development, the energy in my shop and shifted. Not my barbershop, but when I was in a shop prior to opening up my own, because suddenly people who were cool with me started literally side eyeing everything I did. Started making faces while they walked by, having conversations with high ticket people. They would walk up, they would literally walk by and just say, "Shut the fuck up!" Like they would say certain things and do certain things that was like immature. Like they'd make little comments about my videos. They joke about my prices, like, "Oh, no one's paying that," you know. And there's been a few times where I'd walk in into like the break room, or it was not the break room, or it was I'd walk in and I heard the last piece of that sentence, like, "Oh, who's paying him that, ha ha ha," and both of them are laughing at me, you know. And most barbers in a traditional shop operate on a low vibration anyway, so I had to understand that, you know. Like they do not understand what it takes to run a premium business, and that's okay. And that's totally fine, you know. Like I definitely feel like the people that are misunderstood are always going to get hated on, and I'm okay with that. And you have to be okay with that too. Like they just want a lot of these barbers that operate on low vibration, they just want to cut hair and go home, and that's totally fine. So if you're listening to this, you probably don't want that. Like you can't build a high ticket business in a low ticket environment. My advice: get out as quickly as possible. And then it's not just your coworkers, your family will start acting funny too. Like people will start talking. It's like one of the craziest phenomenons that I went through, especially when I started taking myself serious. You know, I would take my books to the shop or my cousin's house to read like a few pages, you know, and I would go over to visit and they'd say, "Oh, I want a haircut, but never mind, you're reading," or "Never mind, you charge too much," laughing like it was a fucking joke. And they would literally belittle me to the fucking max because of what I charged. My dad actually was so proud of that he would back me up, which is cool. My mom too. Like they both back me up, you know. But it was funny because when it actually came down for them to actually pay for a haircut, that's when it was like, "Oh no, never mind. You know, I'm your dad, I'm your mom, right? I shouldn't have to pay." And you know, to my dad and my mom, I don't charge them, but that's just a running joke between them, you know. And I don't mind them joking around with that because I know where that comes from. But like when it's like a genuine joke, you know. But just because they don't understand doesn't mean you're wrong. You know, you have to get used to people projecting their own limitations on you, and that's huge, especially with people that don't believe in entrepreneurship. That's people that don't want to do what you're doing. Like they'll put those limits on themselves and then project it onto you. It's like, "Oh, we're in a small town, you shouldn't be charging that. People are saying this about you, blah 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 blah." It's like the loudest opinions will always come from the cheapest seats. That's just my opinion. Like I'm never gonna pay attention to someone in the nosebleeds when I got people cheering for me in the front row. You know, so why do people react this way in the first place? When you start growing, it shines a light on the fact that they're still staying the same. And that is a very, very uncomfortable feeling to feel, especially when you come from the same place, and you're doing things that they want to do, but they just don't see it. Like, you know, when you raise your standards, it makes them question their own. And that's a them problem. It has nothing to do with you. It's a them problem. At the end of the day, it's always going to be a them problem. Never, ever, ever, ever feel bad for raising your standards and for bettering your life. And if someone's talking shit about you, that just means one thing: they're fucking miserable. Like, it's easier for them to gossip about you than leveling up themselves. That's why you can't let their opinion slow you down. Like anybody, like the shop owner is holding you back and making content, get the fuck out. If the barbers in your shop are making comments about XYZ, get the fuck out. Like, I think that's when it's time for you to start transitioning into either a suite or find a barbershop that actually makes it okay for you to shoot content. That's why, like, when I open up my shop, I want my barbers to feel comfortable shooting content. Like, I shoot content literally every single day, but whether it's writing, whether it's journaling, whether it's editing, whether it's something, I'm always doing something with content. So I want my barbers to feel like it's okay for them to be them. Like, I'm gonna be a rare barbershop in my town, believe it or not. Right now I'm still in the beginning stages because I'm building it out. But just mark my words, my shop will be the most unique shop in Los Banos, California, where every single barber will be on a wait list to where they want to work here amongst not just myself, but like-minded individuals. Like, instead of, like, that's why I chose to focus on what I can control instead of focusing on other people's opinions. And here's what I used to focus on. Like here's what I want you to focus on. Maybe rephrase that. I'm sorry. Here's what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on your client results. I want you to focus on your income and your progress. Focusing on that and building it out and not defending yourself, because that's going to speak louder than you defending yourself anyways. Like, literally, you defending yourself is a low vibration. You have to literally say nothing to say more later. Like, don't explain, don't justify, just execute. And that will speak louder. I promise you, you'll have the whole fucking town talking about you. Because now I'll walk into like restaurants, and I don't mean to sound like I'm a celebrity or anything, but like, I'll walk into to like Target, Walmart, or whatever here in my town, and people will look at me and give me a certain look because I know for a fact they recognize me. And that's fine, but I'm at the end of the day, like, I'm a human first. So another thing I want you to realize is, like, because over time, those same people will respect you or remove themselves. They will talk about you whether you're winning or losing. So you might as well just fucking win and execute every single fucking time. Like I always tell my barbers in my shop and in the coaching program, like, what is stopping you from winning? Is it yourself? 9 times out of 10 is going to be yourself. Or is it someone else telling you, don't do that, do this? So this week, I want you to write down names of people whose opinions you're afraid of. Ask yourself this: do they pay my bills? Do they live my life? Are they ahead of me? If the answer is no, their opinion does not matter. You can't take business advice from people who aren't building anything. Like, you can't take business advice from your Theo that's fucking working in the fields. Like, no offense, because that's not a business. Like, it's not a business. You can't take advice from a barber that's operating a low vibration, still charging $25 at a barbershop, thinking he's winning because he's booked out, while you're making more. I mean, less. I mean, more. If not a little bit more, while working less. Like, at the end of the day, like, you have to literally take advice from people that are actually doing what you want to do. But let's wrap this up with the mindset shift that changed everything for me. So here's that mindset shift that changed everything for me. You're not charging more to rip people off. You're charging more to serve them better. And when I went up on price, literally everything had to change. Like, something had to give, right? Like, something had to give. Whether it was me smoking less, taking classes to reinvent myself. Because when you price higher, you have to have more time for the client, deliver a better experience, and show up as professional as possible. Like, I know fucking barbers that'll show up in sweats and fucking sandals. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? Like, at least show up with a shirt and like you dress yourself this morning. Like, stop coming to work with fucking chanclas. Stop coming to work with fucking sweats on. Like this, like barbers who do that shit do not treat their barber business like a business. That's just my fucking experience, my opinion, and that's a lot of other people's opinions too. Because you are who you attract. You dress. If you don't dress for success, then don't expect the rewards from it. That's just plain and simple. Low prices are a disservice to you and the client. Like that is a bold statement that I heard one of one of my mentors when he told me that, because it's true. You cannot service people by charging less and expect them to feel good about themselves. At the end of the day, like I've learned that when you charge higher, people are thanking you more. They'll say, "Oh, bro, thank you." Like it's crazy. Like because when clients invest more, they value the appointment more. People value for what they pay for, and that value is attached to literally anything. That's why people pay fucking $400 at Gucci for a shirt, because they love the feeling and the status that brings. The same thing that goes with your haircuts. It's an experience and it's also a service that you have to provide. You know, like you're a brand. If you didn't know that, first and foremost, let's put that out there. You are a brand. Okay, you are a solution provider. If you don't see yourself that way, no one else will. You have to start seeing yourself that way first and start acting as if you were already that person you're trying to become. Because at the end of the day, your future self will catch up to that eventually. So here's some action steps that I want you to do. I want you to write this down. I am not just a barber. I am a professional who solves problems. I want you to read that every single morning. Put that everywhere. Put that in your restroom when you're brushing your teeth. Put that on your station. Put that everywhere on your phone and your lock screen. I want you to see that and live that. Okay. So before you move on, I want you to ask yourself these questions, and I want you to be brutally honest. Answer these with brutal honesty. Okay. So number one, what standard in your business are you tolerating right now that you know is holding you back? Are you committed to fitting? Question number two, are you committed to fitting in your shop, or are you building the life you actually want? Number three, whose opinions are you afraid of, and why does it matter to you so much? Number four, if your mindset was the one thing is stopping you, what would you have to do to let that go and level up? Mindset isn't just about positive thinking. It's about it's the foundation for everything else that's built on top of that. Okay. Like I want you to literally realize that, okay? But that literally leads me to my next part in this podcast. If you've been listening, I want you guys to leave a fire emoji in the chat. Like I really do appreciate it. This is going to be a very thorough one, and I really appreciate you guys. So before I walk you through this blueprint, I want to make something clear. I built my high ticket barber business in a city that most people consider small. If you guys haven't heard of Los Banos, California, look it up. It's very, very small. Like smaller than like what's it called? It's a fraction. It's like 100 times smaller than San Francisco. Let's just put that out there. But this was in Los Angeles. This was in San Francisco, and this was the place where the average cut was $20 to $25, and everyone said I was crazy to even think about charging more. I remember that day, like when I made it clear that I wanted to be a high ticket barber, and I've always known that. Like I remember watching Chuka the Barber. If you guys don't know who Chuka is, I remember seeing him on a podcast, and I remember he was explaining that he was charging $40. And there's one thing that he said to me, or he said to the interviewer, that stuck with me even to this day. There's an ask for every seat. And at the time, $40, I think it was like in 2015, I think. $40 was like a lot of money, you know? Like it was a lot of money. You know, I really want you guys to wrap your head around that. $40 for a haircut in 2015 was a lot of money. You know, so if you're sitting there thinking, bro, nobody in my town is going to pay me 60, 80, $100 for a haircut. I get it, because that's exactly what I thought too. And here's how I know that this blueprint works for just an easy haircut. There was one time where I met Jay-Z's producer apparently, and the reason why I know he wasn't bullshitting me was because he showed me a picture of it, of them two, collaborating or whatever. This guy was bald. All I had to do was just shave him with the shaver, and I did a very simple lineup, $200, like crazy. And yeah, that sounds glamorous. Oh, you're cutting ball players, producers, and all that. And here's what I want. And here's what nobody is telling you. It wasn't like that all the time. Okay. And I was spending so much on gas and food. The higher booth rent, the cost of living was just through the fucking roof. And I was actually keeping less money in my pocket. Meanwhile, back at home, while I had my private suite at the time, where everyone said it was impossible to charge what I was charging, I was making more and consistently keeping more. Okay. Like I was literally profiting 100. I was literally profiting more in a city that's 100 times smaller than San Francisco. So that's how I knew I was onto something. And I'm a firm believer that God works in mysterious ways, because I had to let go of working in the shop in San Francisco for personal reasons, and I was okay with it because I was making more money here in Los Banos, which is fucking crazy to me. So I do miss the city. I do miss Dapper Down. Shout out Rel. I do miss it, but things just don't work out sometimes. The cool thing about it is I left on good terms. So if that opportunity ever comes up again, I can see what's up. But yeah, like I was literally profiting more in a city that's 100 times smaller than San Francisco. That's when I knew it wasn't about the city. It was about my systems, my standards, and my brand. Look, I'm not just telling you this. I'm not just telling you this. Like, I'm not just telling you that this works. I'm a proof of concept that works if you're willing to do the work. So here's the framework, and let's get into it. Here's a 6-step blueprint that took me from a low ticket chaos to premium respected businesses. And you have to upgrade your environment. You can't charge premium prices in an environment that feels cheap. So if your shop is literally infested with barbers that do not give a fuck, that just smoke weed, come in smelling like weed, they're smoking weed in the bag, drinking while they're cutting, get the fuck out. You can be the most talented barber in your city, but if your shop looks like shit and smells like shit and just operates like fucking chaos, nobody's paying you the top dollar. I could promise you that. So what does premium look like? uh, Clean stations, good lighting, a fresh scent, music that's clean and welcoming. Simple modern decor. Like in my shop, I have the most simplest outline because I want people to walk in and look at how I built what I built and say, "Oh, this is nice." And yes, I've gotten a lot of positive reviews from it, which is great. You know, so when I invested in lighting and diffusers, and clients noticed immediately, they'd walk in and say, "Man, it feels different in here," and that's when I knew I was onto something. Like my shop is completely different from the traditional barbershop. You walk in, it's just me, and then I have two suites, and then I have a middle room with two barbers, and then I have a big room with two barbers. So it's not your traditional barbershop where you walk in and there's two rows. Like I didn't want that. To me, that's old school. I don't want that. So you can't expect people to see you as a premium if you don't set the stage. Like you have to literally set up your own stage. I hear that all the time. Like how can I charge more in a shitty environment? You can't. Get out. That's plain and simple. Like get out. Like if you have the clientele to back up going to a suite, go to a suite. It's that fucking easy. So once your space feels right, you have to back it up with skill. And that's what's leading me to mastering your craft. Like skill is the baseline, no matter like skill is the baseline. No amount of marketing saves sloppy work. And it shows. Like you can literally see it in Barber's content. You can literally see it. Like if you know what you're looking for, it's literally as bright as fucking day. Like a lot of barbers want to charge more, but their haircuts don't justify the price. And let's be honest, would you pay $100 for your own service? So here's an action step that I want you to do. I want you to audit your own work. Look at your photos, watch your videos, compare yourself to barbers that are charging more. See what they're doing and apply what they're doing to your business. I firmly believe that I gotten better at cutting hair solely because I was able to film content. A lot of barbers say, "Oh, I use the mirror to get better." I never did that. I used my phone. I used my camera to actually see. Like I feel like the camera on my phone showed me more mistakes than the actual mirror did. If I'm being honest with you, like skill isn't something you arrive at; it's something you refine. Like, and when you refine it, you get better at it because after your skills are dialed in, you need time to improve it. Because after your skills are dialed in, you need to improve the experience. And when you improve the experience on top of the skill, then you're pruning yourself to actually charge those higher prices. You know, like you have to literally improve the client experience. People pay more for how you make them feel. Like a cheap haircut isn't a transaction. A premium haircut is an experience. I'm say that again. A cheap haircut is a transaction. A premium haircut is an experience. So here are some ways that you can level that up. You can have a real consultation, and by doing that, you just have a real conversation of your professional expertise. Offer a beverage, hot towel finish, educate clients about products, and the most simplest one is never rush your clients, like ever, like never rush your clients because when I started adding hot towels and doing consultations and I was more clear on what the client wanted, clients were just blown away. They're like, "Oh my gosh, bro! Like you saved my life. Like I had to date this today, and like now I'm extremely confident that I'm gonna nail it, or uh I have a job that I've been trying to get, and this haircut's gonna you know help me. So experience is what makes the client brag about you to your friends. But even the great experience won't save you if you discount it every single time. Full like for me, it's always full price or free. I never give random ass discounts. This is a critical mindset shift. Like you have to realize that discounts with no purpose are a race to the bottom. Like if you're going to give discounts, it's because you're going to do it for content creation, testimonials, and strategic launches. That's the only time I've ever done a discount, and I fucking hated it every single time I did it. So what I ended up doing was either free or full price. That was it. Never random, you know? Because when I rebranded, I gave a few free cuts in exchange of video testimonials or content, and it paid me back 10 times over. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've given free haircuts, and that video brought me like 5 new clients, which is like crazy. So here's some action steps that I want you to take. So decide now. I want you to decide right now. If you discount, what's the purpose? Like once you know how to protect your value, you have to build demand and you have to build demand before you raise prices. You can't double your rates without demand. Like that's obvious. Like there's no point in you raising your prices when you have a lot of gaps at lower prices. Like you shouldn't have any gaps when you're at $30 a haircut and you want to raise your prices. Like raising your prices with no demand is like putting a for sale sign on an empty lot and like nobody's coming. Like nobody's coming. So here's how to create demand. Post your results, show transformations, share testimonials, consistently fill your calendar. And the way I would do that is before my client leaves the chair, I make sure I try to rebook them. And I say try because sometimes clients have crazy schedules, and I try to reschedule them. I always try to figure out, okay, if this client comes in every 2 weeks, okay, cool. I have this Friday available. Okay. This client comes in every 3 weeks. Okay, cool. Every Sunday at this time. Cool. So that's how you're able to fill in the gaps, especially at these higher prices. You know, like scarcity creates desire, consistently creates trust. You know, like when I showed up, my bookings filled up. Clients felt the urgency. You know, so here's some action steps that I want you guys to take today. Spend 30 days building consistent bookings, and when the demand is there, it's time for the announcement. Like, you first have to realize what you're trying to do and understand the ideal client that you want. So they say, for example, you don't like doing Edgar haircuts, you don't like doing beards, do not post those. Post the exact haircuts that you want. That's why stylists, like women stylists, are so booked out, because they know what they want to do. They focus on long haircuts. Like, that business model cannot be beat. It's just plain and simple, you know? So here's how you announce a price raise. And when you announce your price raise, say it with your fucking chest. Like, don't, like, once you say it, don't go back on it. Like like when I did it, I made sure that I had everything dialed in. So my framework was always 2 week notice. 1 week was too fast. 3 weeks dragged out too little. 3 weeks just took too long, and 4 weeks was just fucking ridiculous. And here's how I did it every time. I posted a clear announcement on my Instagram. I thanked clients for the journey, and I made it clear if they couldn't afford it, no hard feelings. So here's an example caption: starting date. My service at rates will reflect the quality of my experience I strive to provide. Thank you for growing with me. If doesn't work for you, I completely understand. Respect your clients, but respect yourself more. After you announce, here's the hardest part: hold the fucking line. Okay, hold the fucking line, because when you raise prices, you will lose clients. The dip is the test for most barbers, and that's where they fucking fail and they fold. So in the beginning, I went through what I called the dark dip. Your schedule clears out because old clients are bailing. And that doesn't mean you did something wrong. Here's what happens. A lot of people try to squeeze in for that last cheap haircut during those 2 week that 2 week notice. So at first your calendar feels busy, but after that rush, it gets quiet. That's when the doubt creeps in. You must hold that fucking line for 6 weeks, okay? That's when clients see you finally have space for them. The ones who value you step up. Like, you'd be surprised. It's people that you never thought you would be cutting up. Like, oh fuck, you're gonna get a haircut. Oh, dope. Let's run it. The dark dip is just the universe testing you if you really believe in your own value. Excuse me. So here's some action steps. I want you to mark the date you announce your price raise. Commit to not judging your decision for 6 weeks. A minimum of 6 weeks. So let's recap these steps. The 6 steps. Write these down. This is your blueprint. Upgrade your environment, master your craft, improve the client experience. Full price or free, never random discounts. 4, build demand before you raise prices. Number 5, make the announcement. 6, hold the fucking line. Okay. Most barbers will never make it past step 4, because that's where the doubt gets very loud. But you're not most barbers, especially if you made it this far. Okay. So here's some questions before you start implementing. I want you to ask yourself. Number 1, what part of your environment is working against your pricing, and what's the one thing you'll fix this week? Number 2, if you were a brand new client, would you pay your own rates based on your content and experience? Number 3, do you have the discipline to hold the line during the dark dip? Or are you going to fold that first slow week? Number 4, what would happen if you finally believed you were worth it and acted like it every single day? You see, most barbers fail not because the strategy doesn't work, but because they don't have the patience to stick with it. Most barbers just love seeing their jam-packed schedule, and high-ticket barbers don't have jam-packed schedules like that. Like, I'm never 100% booked out. Let's just put that out there. I am never 100% booked out. I am the most 90% booked out. If I feel like I'm at 100% booked out, I freak the fuck out. There's literally no reason for me to be at 100% booked out, because why? My business is like my quality is going to reflect that. Like, I'd rather be 80% booked out than 100% booked out. And here's why: I make more money in less time, and I have time to work on the business on the outside. And when I say work on the business, is editing, posting my stories, making sure I rebook my clients, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? So Which leads me to the next section of this podcast. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching this lengthy podcast because I love this shit. I love helping barbers like yourself. I love it. I just love it. So here's the content game, the content creation game that I use. So let's clear something up because this is where 99% barbers get stuck. You think you need a cinematic edit to attract clients. You think if you post every hour of the day, you're going to magically get booked out. Both of those ideas are false. Content creation isn't about looking cool, it's about building trust and awareness. And let's break this down. And two mistakes I see barbers making every single fucking day. It's so annoying. So, mistake number one, the cinematic trap. You see the barber spending thousands of dollars on fancy videographers and dramatic edits. I'm telling you right now, that's great, but it's also a great way to waste your fucking money and time. Because here's the truth: the cinematic look. Because here's the truth: that cinematic video looks great once. It doesn't build consistency. It doesn't teach people why you're different. It's just it's like an ego stroke. Like an ego stroke is you thinking, yeah, this is gonna make my haters hate me. Like, what do you want? Like hating. Okay, so before I continue, when you start doing content, you're gonna get a bunch of haters. But why do you want to add fuel to that? That's just so immature to me. It's like you're doing this for the haters. Like fuck that. You're trying to build something that's gonna last. Like not for more hate. Let's put that out there. You know. So here's an example. That barber is going to realize eventually that he could have filmed those same haircuts himself and reinvested that money back into his business, whether it be into a mentorship, a computer, actual camera that he could learn on his own, like classes. Like, come on, like you don't need Hollywood production to be clear. Like you need clear proof that you can solve a problem. And here's mistake number two: the ego driven over posting. Then you have the other barber talking all fucking day to the camera, yapping about nothing, posting every hour on the hour. That barber is eventually going to fall on his face and stop altogether because posting without purpose burns you out. Like you have to have intent to why you're posting content. Like there's a reason why you're posting this like every single day. And it's not because, oh, I'm gonna make my haters mad. Like, no, it's not like that at all. Like more content doesn't mean better content. Like you need intention behind every single post. Content creation can be an easy way for you to make it out, but you have to stop overcomplicating it. Like here are the simplest ways to start. Like you don't need a fancy camera, you don't need a videographer, you don't need to be cinematic at all. If you have an iPhone 12 or above, you're good. A lot of people want to say, "Oh, I need a camera. I need a Sony FX this, blah, blah, blah." Cool. But are you going to take the time to actually learn how to use that thing? Like, those are more complicated than you think, opposed to your iPhone. Your iPhone can just point and shoot, done deal. Like, I've gotten over 25 plus videos to go viral off my iPhone. And I can prove it to you. Like, just comment down below and I'll send you all my most viral videos that I've gone only because of my iPhone. And here's a crucial step that most people skip. Take your fucking shirt and wipe your lens. There's been multiple times, especially early on in my career, where I forgot to wipe the lens, and I go back to edit the footage, and it's so bad. Like it's so fucking bad. And like nobody wants to watch a blurry video, and trust me, editing it is just a pain in the fucking ass. Like it fucking sucks. But what's actually more important than the actual camera itself is good lighting. And start simple. Like just get 2 ring lights and 1 square light. That's it. Don't overthink it. And here's how to use them. The square light is for your final showcase shot. Position it directly at the fade, not too close. You don't want hot spots. And when a hot spot is too bright on one area, like you want to adjust it while looking at your camera to perfect it. The ring light are for your action shots. They help control shadows while you record because it's a ring light. It's very minimal for shadows and stuff like that. You know, they help control shadows while you record. So if you're in a shop with terrible lighting, you need to figure that out and adapt. Like content creation is about problem solving. So if you can problem solve that for yourself, then you can literally solve anybody's problem. You know, so like you have to focus on action, not ego. Your videos should show hair falling off, a difference being made, and the final result. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. You need hair falling off, a difference being made, and a satisfying action, and the final result. I forgot to mention number three, but not you talking about how great you are in every single fucking post. Like people don't care about your ego. Like only you do. They care about whether you can solve their hair problems. Like I know barbers that just yap and yap and yap and yap, and it's so fucking annoying. You know, like content that educates and demonstrates always beats content that just flexes every single fucking time. That's why you see barbers that have over 4,000 posts and only like 1,000 followers. Like they think that, oh, if I post more content, I'm going to build my brand quicker. No, that's a sure way to the bottom. And let's be clear, content creation is adapting to your situations and how quickly you can figure that out. Like you really have to switch from consumer to the mindset of producer. Okay. Like I want you to understand that. Like you're going to have days that you don't feel like filming. And that's just a given. That's with anything. Like, there's days I don't want to fun cut hair. There's days where I don't want to film a podcast. There's days where I don't want to write. There's days where I don't want to edit. Like you're gonna have those days. And then you're gonna go through doubting yourself. Like you're going to think, who's even watching this? Like that's a given. The difference between a professional and amateur is consistency. And that's a fucking word that I hear all the damn time now. It's consistency, consistency, consistency. Ah, man. Like that word gets thrown around so much because it's true. Like content is not about going viral. It's about showing up until you're undeniable to people. Like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna book with Paco because he makes my lineup look super fresh. Blah blah. This and that. This is why I pay him $100. And that right there is a flex for people. They want the status that they could afford you. You know, obscurity is the only real enemy. You are the only real enemy that's stopping you. The resistance, the obscurity, all that shit. The barbers who win, the ones who keep documenting even when nobody's clapping. And even then, like nobody's gonna clap for you once you hit 10K followers. Like no one's gonna clap for you once you hit 100K followers. No one's gonna clap for you once you hit the $100 mark. Like you have to be okay with that, you know. So here are some action steps that I want you to take. This week, I want you to clean your lens before every video. set up your lighting before you start. Like literally set up the shot. Okay. Film one haircut with 3 action clips and a showcase. Post it without overthinking. Okay. The scariest part of content creating is just starting, but the regret of never starting is worse. Like I can't tell you how many times I've gone home and I should have gotten that fucking video. Why didn't I record that? Because now I have nothing to edit. Like fuck, you know. So I want you to remember something. Remember that content is just a vehicle to get you to the next thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to start moving. Just start moving. Just show up. You know. So before you before I wrap this up, I want you to start asking these questions and be honest with yourself. Okay. What is really stopping you from posting content consistently? Like there's no excuses. Like be honest with yourself. Are you overcomplicating your content because you're scared of to be seen imperfectly? Like people that are wanting to book with you are not worried about you showing up perfect. Like let's just put it out there. If someone scrolled on your Instagram right now, would they see a clear proof you can solve their problem? What would your business look like in 6 months if you just documented every haircut without overthinking? Like obscurity is the only real enemy here. If nobody knows you exist, nobody will pay you. Like that's just plain and simple, you know? So, which leads me to my next part of this podcast, and it's the truth about mentorship, accountability, and doing the work. Okay. A lot of you barbers think the answer to your problem is buying another course, another mentorship, another playbook. But let me tell you something, and let me be honest with you. None of that matters if you won't do the work. Like, you can spend $5,000 on coaching. You can join every single mastermind, every Q&A. You can watch every single tutorial out there, but if you do not execute and show action, you will stay exactly where you are. Mentorship is not magic. It's just a shortcut if you're willing to walk that road. And let me share a story with you so you understand exactly what I mean. So it's about a student that who didn't execute. And I had a student once who started out very strong. He was showing up to calls, asking questions, doing the work. But a few weeks in, he stopped showing up. I reached out. He said his health was declining, life was getting hard, money was tight. And look, those reasons are valid. His situation was real. But here's the thing: just because your reasons are valid doesn't mean you get to skip accountability. Like you just can't bypass that. Like you signed a contract, you knew the situation, you knew what was going to take. Like you knew exactly what this was going to take from you. The reality is that most barbers sign up for mentorships because they are desperate for money, but they're not prepared to do the uncomfortable work that creates the money. Just because you paid doesn't mean you get results. You have to meet your mentor halfway. Like at the end of the day, like I never expected my mentors to show up at my door and, hey Paco, are you gonna join today's Q&A? Like, come on, bro, let's go. Like I never expected that. Why? Because I paid them. Like I knew what I was getting myself into. Like I'm a fucking adult. Like come on, you know. Like if you think I'm being too harsh, let me tell you about my own experience. When I first invested in my mentorship, it was terrifying. Like I didn't have extra money laying around. It was exactly what I had in my bank account. But I knew if I was going to change my, but I knew it was going to change my business. I needed someone ahead of me to hold me accountable. And guess what? The first time I sent my content to my mentor, he roasted it. Like he told me it was dog water. It was dog shit. Like like I'm telling you this from experience. Like, and I'm still here, just standing here talking to you guys. He told me that my lighting sucked, my edits were trash, my captions were lazy. It was fun to hear. Was it fun to hear that? Fuck no, it wasn't. It fucking hurt, but it was the truth, and I applied the feedback. That's the difference. Most barbers and people get feedback and do nothing with it. Like I can tell my students, hey, do this and this and this. It's going to be good for you in 6 months, but you cannot lead the horse to the water and force them to drink it. It's just it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You know, if you can't take constructive criticism, you're going to fall behind. Like I had to learn that the hard way. Like, so let's talk about how to actually get the most out of any mentorship, you know? And here's a simple formula. Pay attention, ask questions, do the work. Oh, that's it? Yes, that's literally it. You know? Like it sounds simple, but most barbers skip one of these three. They show up to the calls, nod their head, and they go back to doing nothing. If you want results, bring your real problems to the table. Be coachable. Take fast and perfect action. The next time your mentor gives you feedback, implement that in the same week. And you'll start seeing that. Like once you start implementing feedback from your mentor, you're gonna start seeing it in your business. Like, oh fuck, like, this is actually true. But I didn't realize that. Holy fuck. And here's the brutal truth. Like you'll never outgrow needing accountability. Like you'll never outgrow it. I still need it to this fucking day. Like I'm sitting here talking to you, telling you that I still need accountability. Like I love it when I train with one of my friends. That's a mentorship. I love it when I train at the gym with one of my best friends. His name is Lucas. I love when I train with him because he keeps me accountable during the workout. He makes me do the fucking work. And I love that shit because it makes me better. And that accountability shows up in the next week when I'm by myself. You know, like you cannot outgrow accountability. Even the most successful people you look up to have mentors, coaches, or trusted peers holding them accountable. Like, you think Kobe Bryant didn't have that? You think fucking the barber that you look up to that doesn't have that? I fucking still have that. You know what I mean? Like, success isn't about knowing everything. It's about staying consistent when you feel like quitting. Like, quitting is always going to be in the back of your mind. It's always going to be there no matter what you do. Like, no matter what you do, it's going to be there. Like, it's just part of the game. Like you have like at the end of the day, that's why I built my own coaching program, because I knew exactly what it feels like to try and do this alone. And it's crazy because there's so many coaches out there now, but none of them are doing it the way I'm doing it. You know what I mean? None of them are me, and that's why you should do your. Yeah, that's why you should start making content because no one is you. No one is doing it your way. You know what I mean? That's where the authenticity comes in. Like and if you don't have anyone keeping you accountable right now, that's probably why you feel stuck because no one is telling you like, look, bro, you're fucking up. I think you should do this. Like, no one is fucking telling you anything. So you're still stuck in that fucking hamster wheel, going around and around and just chasing your own tail. But this week, I want you to find one person. Okay, I want you to find one person who is further ahead than you, and ask them for feedback on your business. I promise, and promise yourself that you'll take action whatever they tell you, even if it hurts. Okay. Information without action is just expensive entertainment. Like when I heard that from one of my mentors, I was like, fuck, like I paid fucking $10,000 for this shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, I am not about to not apply what I'm learning here. Like, I definitely feel like you pay to pay attention. Like if I would have got this shit for free, I probably wouldn't have paid attention. But the fact that I paid for it, like I'm trying to get the most out of it so I can move forward. Like mentorship will always show you what's possible. Accountability will make sure you get there, but nobody can do the work for you. Okay. So before you move on, I want you to ask yourself these questions and just be honest again. Be honest with yourself because this is where the real you is going to show up. Number one, have you ever paid for a mentorship or course and then not follow through? Why not? Two, are you open to hearing the truth about your business even when it's uncomfortable? Number three, who is holding you accountable right now? And if the answer is nobody, why? And number four, if you finally committed to doing the work consistently, where could you have been in 12 months? Like that right there is one of the biggest bottlenecks that I have in myself where I should have done the work sooner and I would have been farther. But you can't think that way. You have to start now. Okay. The only thing that's standing between you and your business is you wanting to execute. Like that's the only thing standing between you and your business is execution and action. Okay. That's one of the things that I want you to realize because I want you to bring all this together because if you listen this far, I already know one thing about you. You're not like everybody else. Okay. And because most barbers won't sit through this whole mastermind blueprint podcast talking about mindset, pricing, and content strategy. Like most barbers aren't going to do that. Most barbers won't ask themselves the hard questions. Most barbers will stay exactly where they are because it's comfortable. But you didn't make it to the end for nothing. You are different. You are here because you know you are built for more. So here's what I want you to understand because this is what nobody told me when I was stuck. The truth about success, it does not happen overnight. Whether you like it or not, it's a process. Sometimes it happens 6 months from now. Sometimes it happens 12 months from now, even 24 months from now. It's part of the journey. Okay.